Hello, fellow wanderers. It is your boy, Wander Boy here, and I feel like I should do this video again because I've done this video before, but I think I deleted the file on my computer, so I can't just re-upload it, which was still super helpful. But as you read the title of this video, we're going to be going on patience/evasiveness, and essentially like what it is, how to do it, and stuff like that. I don't really have like kind of like a guideline or notes, so I'm kind of just doing it off the top of my head. Okay, so evasiveness. So the first thing I like to state was just get comfortable with your character's moves, how they work, all the different kind of variants: full hopping, short hopping, short hop fastball, full hop fastball, short hop delayed fastball, full hop delayed fastball, or full hop delayed fastball. Basically, full hop aerials are just full hop delayed fastball aerials are just the basic, those kind of aerials. Full hop aerials are just, one without the fastball. Short hop aerials are the one without the fastball, etc., etc. You kind of get the drift here, the gist here. So, of course, just get a good feel of your aerials, how to do them, how to practice them, your specials, their timings, each one of them. Just get a gist of that as well. And aerial specials, any kind of miscellaneous movement, like any game tech, like attack, roar back air, attack cancels, which are also pretty important for most of the cast. Getting your spacing in check as well could very much benefit, especially if you play sorties or play characters that kind of have disjoints. Those are also very much important. But the very most important thing of this video I want to cover would of course be initial dash, which is just that flicking your stick forward, or just holding your stick forward for a quick second. But I think flicking forward is one of the most important. Initial dashing is one of the most important things for spacing and movement. You can have your normal sword spacing, make sure everything is spaced, but initial dash is one thing I like to do typically. Sorry, I'm gonna sidetrack. Is one thing I typically like to do when it comes to like trying to space or be evasive. That is also important. Another thing I want to introduce is dash walking, also another movement and spacing tool. I would highly suggest to see if it's more effective for your character when it comes to spacing and being right outside that threat range. For Marv, especially, it's really important. For Cloud or any of the sorties, that's also really important. All that stuff's kind of important. So yeah. Let's just kind of get into the mean potatoes, even though I kind of just, drew a circle. Initial dash. Initial dash. What is it? It's just basic movement. We just flick your stick forward. Yeah, that's essentially it. But what I like to do personally to make this even more effective as a movement and spacing tool is I like to string them together. I like to determine where the ending of it is, the ending of the initial dash, or look at the end of the initial dash animation, and I would do another one and another one, and so on. So what I usually do is I just do it as I just did there. I'll do it again. As what I usually do is just do it as much as I can. I like to use the sound cues to tell if I'm doing an initial dash properly, and I like to go from 0 to 35 and come back. So what that does, basically, I'll call that a lap. So basically what that does is that it gets you used to the spacing and the timing of how far your initial dash can go, which I think knowing how far your initial dash can go and how far your moves go is actually something really important with spacing, really important with conditioning, and really it's just overall important. So that's something I very much do all the time just try to actively space them. So that's just kind of the bread and that's kind of meat, the bread and butters, or the bread and butter when it comes to practicing evasiveness slash patience. So I guess now we'll just move to the next segment of this, and this will be the actual training, just a visual of it, I guess would be a better word. Pardon. But okay, that's not supposed to happen. That's not usually supposed to happen, so let me do it. Let me do another cloud skin. So that doesn't happen, sorry. We're not doing any cutting. Okay, so here we are. So the actual training is just essentially, in the words of, if again, I'm going to reference the video, or put the video in the description, but essentially, ooh, I never gave the rep, sorry about that. So I usually do that about 10 laps, or actually, so the more you do it, the longer it is to, you know, get used to it. So usually I do it for 20. When I first started, I did like 15 because that was a nice sweet spot for me, but the more I did it, I knocked it up another 10, and essentially the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you have to knock it up. So usually I knock it up by 10, because that seems really effective. That was effective for me when I first started it. When I did 15 and I got used to it, I just knocked it up to 25, and you know, I'm still doing it from there. I might have to do it to 35, or you can just really set a time to do it and feel it. I would say 20 minutes for me is my minimum. You can do it for however long you want to, but it has to be longer than 10 minutes, and it can really be like as long as 4 hours, 3 hours. But I say start with maybe 15, 20 minutes if you want to time yourself and not do the lap thing. Just get a good feel of your movement is the whole thing. So essentially, what this is, which I don't know what happened to my phone, but I'm just gonna quote this from memory. So the way Dark Peach said how to practice it, you know, of course, since you mastered your movement, would be to get close, to move around, you know, whatever character you set. Of course, set a character, which I didn't, you know, I forgot to also tell that too. Sorry, there's kind of a lot going on in my mind, which is a normal activity. So, pick a character, make sure to set it to level 9. He uses DK because he's big. He has a lot of range, and he's pretty easy at edge guard. So yeah. Pretty much how Dark Peach says it. He says to move around them, stay close to them, but not too close, and don't get hit. So essentially, what that means is that you're just taking your movement or all your tech, not really the attack cancels and all those, but your basic movement and your movement tech. So that can be IDJ, that can be dash walking, that can be ledge slipping, whatever it may be. Just taking that and combining it all to move around your opponent and not get hit. But one thing I'd also like to mention is that if this is your first time doing this or practicing this, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get hit. I mean, it's not going to be easy, and you're going to get hit a lot. So don't get discouraged when you do get hit. Don't knock yourself down or beat yourself up too much. You're still new. You're still very much learning, and it takes time. Just like mastering everything does. Mastering something takes a lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of skill and a lot of things. So basically, oops, sorry, something must have happened. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay, Well, give me a second here. I think something happened, so give me a second. Sorry about that. Something happened with the game and it crashed. But anyways, I forgot where it was. So basically, just move around your opponent. Get close to them, but not too close. But don't get hit. Or I should say, and don't get hit. But the thing is, especially, you know, if you practice your initial dash spacing, which is, you know, something you should do before this, it's not always, you're not always not gonna get hit. So if you get hit, just be like, oh, okay, I got too close. Let's just try spacing ourselves better next time. And very much having this mindset will make this a lot easier and make playing the slow game or doing this for an extended period of time a lot easier. So in Dark Peach's video, he says, okay, do it for 30 seconds. When you've done it 30 seconds, 1 minute. 1 minute, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and so on. But for me, I personally like to do it for 30 minutes. I do 30 minutes a day, and by like the 4th or 5th day, I crank it up another 30 minutes. So then I do an hour 4 days. And I crank it up to an hour 30, maybe 2 hours. You get the cycle here. And here what I'm gonna show is I'm gonna show what it looks like in action, because I believe in, you know, showing you and then doing it so you can do it yourself, DIY. So basically, you're just gonna be moving around the opponent. I guess I'll do this for 5 minutes. I won't be, you know, time exactly. So just move around your opponent, getting close to them, but not too close. You know, spacing yourself. As you see here. You know, really trying to space yourself. Okay, I'm getting hit a lot here because I'm too close. And also, be careful for dash attack. A lot of the time, because dash attack is a good burst option. So if you feel that burst option coming on, I should probably use a character I'm more warmed up with or more adjusted to. I'd rather use Marth. Marth is a nice sortie. Very simple sortie, you know, you can kind of move with him, has a nice range, has nice disjoints. So basically what you're doing is you're essentially just moving around your opponent. Give me 1 second, let me change controller, so I'll do that, give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. But yeah, just essentially move around your opponent, try to space yourself. Of course, you're gonna get hit. See, there's little things that the CPU does that, you know, you can't perfectly, you know, do. So yeah, just again try to space yourself. Sorry, I'm gonna count 13 minutes from when I actually was ready. So I'll just do this for 5 minutes, and then I'll do the attack variant for 5 minutes, because actually I'll do 2 methods. I'll do the run method, and I'll do the other method. Oh, when you die, just for future, just for a note, when you die, do not reset. Do not reset the training stage back to default positions. This is meant to emulate a real game as close as you possibly can. As close as you possibly can. So resetting, you're not gonna get anywhere. What you're gonna get most of the time is you're not gonna get to reset your positions or reset the game from those positions. So there's no point in doing it. In a real game, when you lose your stock, you're gonna be sitting on Angel platform and you're gonna drop down and go back into the game. So just do that. Let yourself get KO'd or get your stock taken. If you need to take a second and refresh, go ahead, and then just head right back in to moving around your opponent. So yeah, we're just gonna do this for 5 minutes. One thing that I find really, really effective as well, especially when it comes to competing or just playing like in a very like playing in like something with any kind of pressure, or just playing for non-casual reasons. Something I highly suggest is to practice your mindset. And what I mean by that is to practice practice how many stocks you're down or how many stocks you're up. So let's say right now I'm just gonna SD for example. Oh okay. So I'm down one stock. My opponent's at 8%. Okay. Now I'm just gonna I like to practice this especially I like to practice this during the hit part, you know, the part where you hit your opponent. But once I guess we'll mention that a little bit later. So just, you know, just try to take your time, move around your opponent. Try to focus on where your opponent is going. Let's focus on where your opponent's going. Try to space yourself. You know, you're not always going to be perfect at spacing. You're not always going to have the same spacing, but it's somewhat nice to stay like close range, but not too close. Again, as Dark Peach said. So maybe something. Maybe something like right outside of their range. So like maybe like right here, or something. Like right there, so you can react. See, I didn't react there because I was trying to focus on spacing, which is why the whole goal of this is to take away the idea of focusing on spacing and just essentially just have it come to you naturally. That's the whole goal of this. It's within the best interest not to fight back. Just kind of work on doing your defensive options, especially at ledge. This is very hard for me to. It's very hard for me to talk and do this. So at some point I might just stop. Yeah, but this is just to, you know, get you in the habit of naturally and subconsciously spacing yourself outside of, you know, outside of your opponent's, you know, tilt range or smash attack range, depending on what character you're playing, or what character you're practicing against. DK is like a really good start. You can do maybe Fox or some of the sorties like Mithra or Marth Lucina. I would say Corrin's a nice one. You can also practice against Samus. Practice against different archetypes just to get a nice idea. But back to this. I'm gonna go quiet for a bit while I come up with what I'm gonna say next. So nice, he lost his stock. Yes, but just practice different mindsets in general. So practice being down one stock. Okay, practice being down two stocks, and this is for the attack one. So we'll get to that quickly. I'll just do one more example. I'm at 164. After this DK loses the next stock, we'll move on to the next variant. So let's just keep it going. Or after I lose my stock, sorry. Alright, sweet. So, now we'll move on to the next one. And this is gonna be... first I'd like to mention something else. I'd like to mention using run to properly plot attacks where your opponents are going to be. Yes, you heard that right, where your opponents are going to be, not where your opponent is. That is one of the most important things and one of the most common mistakes. To hold your advantage or just to hit your opponent generally, what you're going to do is you're going to try your best to punish where your opponent is going to be, or punish them for doing a defensive option. So, for example, this DK is running around air dodging, so I'm just going to punish him using my sword, maybe with a dash attack or something. That I'm just essentially going to be using my moves to punish where he's going to be. He jumps to center stage. Alright, he's rolling away. Okay, he air dodge, nice. I'm going to remember that option and punish him for it. This, in my opinion, would be a very nice start. A very nice practice session before doing the actual, movement plus attack. One versus the level 9 CPU. Because you get some nice practice on punishing your opponent's defensive options. And essentially just taking your time. So, for example, I'm just going to use this as an example. Of course, I'm not always going to be perfect, which is something I want you to keep in mind. Alright, we'll just practice setting your CPU to run, and just practice hitting it out of its defensive option, maybe spacing your moves. All sorts of things like that. If you are going to practice on using the run method, I suggest using Mithra or another character with frame to air dodge. So maybe like Sonic. Let's see who else. Diddy Kong. Zero Suit. I believe Bayo has a frame 1. I wouldn't suggest doing it against Bayo. Maybe just Mithra, Sonic, any character with a frame 2 air dodge. You can just go to Ultimate Frame Data and find out what characters frame 2 air dodge and practice against them. You can practice it against specific anyone for any situation, anything. So we'll just do this for like 2 more stocks. This is also probably a great way, if you don't practice bread and butters actively, this would be a great way to practice doing your bread and butters actively. Just wanted to throw that in there. But I haven't played in a while, so it's also starting to show, because I'm having trouble hitting my opponent. So, yeah, let's just kind of get right back into it. And that's why I say sometimes it's better to practice using your initial dash. Practice the initial dashes, so the spacing and etc, how to move around your opponent. But this also is good practice if you don't feel like doing this one. Just practice hitting your opponent using setting the CPU to run, etc. So basically what it does is essentially it's teaching you, okay, what hits can I get that are true? True hits, which every character has a true combo, and it works at 8%. That's a specific percent range. Yeah, basically it's just practicing how to hit your opponent, when to hit your opponent, and you can also, again, practice your bread and butters. That's also something pretty important. And how to punish your opponent. And how to condition them to do those panic options, like see how this DK is running from me. Oh nice, he was just rolled into the corner. Now I'm going to use that information and get a nice punish on that. So boom, dash attack, stuff like that. Pretty simple like that. Okay, jump, air dodge, okay, punish that one, up air, neutral air dodge, down on the ground, boom, grab him, throw him off stage. Now we can play a nice off stage scenario. Jump, air dodge, okay, I'll remember that. Boom, throw him off stage. Run up, spot dodge, cool, I'll remember that habit. As you see, this DK is spot dodging a lot, so we're just going to punish him for spot dodging. He's not going to be able to recover that. Stuff like that. Okay, so once you got a good feel of doing that, I'll leave that as an alternative. If you find just trying to, space yourself around the CPU and punish, you can also just practice spacing around your opponent while they're running away from you. That is a nice alternative if you find the other one to be just a bit too hard. So we'll get on to this one. The practice it while your opponent is approaching you, or doing a couple things. So remember back when I mentioned mindsets? Now here we are. I'd like to bring that up now, especially when it comes to attacking your opponent and being a little bit more patient. Time and air dodge to that. The up tilt loops, I'll call them loops. It's not true, just time and air dodge. So really just take your time and figure things out. As you see, I'm getting hit a lot here. So essentially just practice the different mindsets, I guess would be a better word here. So okay, I'm a stock down, 65% on me, now 77. Alright, I'm gonna take my time, and where I'm just gonna figure out a way to hit him without also getting hit back. So I'll just use this as an example. Alright, sweet. Now we're on even stocks, but I'm down 111%. Not really gonna worry about this. That's not death. Okay, 132%. We're gonna take our time here. Alright, nice. Boom. Alright, nice. Now I'm gonna stock up 146%. Now my goal here is to tack on as much damage as I can before I get my stock taken. So now I'm gonna just take my time. Even if I don't get a hit this stock, if I even just get like 5-10%, I should be fine. Alright, I got my percent, we're good. Alright, all this is extra credit. This is all extra credit. This is all extra credit right here. You can get a little bit aggressive here because you have a stock. Okay, cool, ISD'd, I got greedy. That's fine. 53% on the board to nothing. Now it's even stocks, both on our last stock, so kind of just going to play it carefully. Still want to take our time, because the more patient you are, the better the match will go in your favor. Not exactly, depends on the character you're fighting, but that's just a mindset I like to have. So, okay, now he's off stage. Let me take my time. Oh, he rolled in. Alright, I'm going to dash back and punish that. I'm going to fake like I'm going to do something. Oh, he's going to wait on ledge. Okay, well, Marth can't exactly hit this. Marth can't exactly hit ledge hangs. But there's a lot of characters that can do that, but Marth is not one of them. Or it's very hard to. Alright, he's sitting at ledge. Alright, I'm going to do neutral get up because he's going to give me a lot of space. Okay, 95, 104. We're still chilling. Get up attack. Alright. Alright, now we have that. I got caught there. Okay, that's game. So, the lesson here is, of course, if you practice patience, you should have no problem getting the stock first or getting the stock second. Okay, I'm a stock up. My opponent is at 125%. I dealt a lot of extra credit, so I'm not really worried. Again, just practicing the different mindsets. You don't actually have to actively think out loud, but just taking a look at the stocks from time to time, or in an actual match, taking a look at the stocks, or just practicing in the mindset of being a stock up, or knowing your stock up, stock down, 2 stocks up, 2 stocks down, whatever the situation may be. Just practice each one of them while doing this. Attacking the evasiveness, the evasive attacking method. Like, see, I'm trying to be too aggressive here and I'm getting punished for it. Like, yes, I want to kill my opponent. I know I want to kill my opponent. But I'm not going to get any benefit from it. I'm not going to get any benefit from just... Oops. Yeah. Not going to get any benefit from trying to hit my opponent or overextend. Exactly my point there. What I want to do is I want to get aggressive and forward air. Trying to think of anything else while also doing this. Let me stop. But I think that's everything covered. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you guys a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever you watch this, whenever you watch this. Sorry for this being so long, but it is information packed, and I hope you guys will take this very much into account and use this during your training routine, or make this something to use, or make this now your training routine. Alright, wish you all the best. Good luck training this. The results will show immediately when you hop online, or you hop on an actual hop offline or in a tournament while you do this. Sorry, I'm having trouble formulating my thoughts here. So the results will show immediately. I mean, like right after you're done doing this, if you hop in an elite match or a quick play match or an arena and fight someone, you will see it work in real time. So good luck training. Give me some feedback in the comments. Tell me how'd you like it. Tell me if it worked or not, or if there was something I need to do better or explain better in the video. But yeah, that's it, fellow wanderers. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, my friends. Peace.